Time in YouTube, and welcome back to another episode of Theme Deck Corner. If you guys are hyped and ready for this, make sure to hit that like button down there because it is greatly appreciated. It lets me know that you guys continue to enjoy this content and continue to want more of it. Now, for today, we are looking over the Born of Fire theme deck that was released when the TPC, Pokemon Trading Card Game Online actually updated to the most recent patch. They got rid of all the old standard decks for theme deck. Well, they didn't get rid of them, but if you didn't pick them up, you can't get them now. And they gave you 3 brand new starter decks. One was the Crushing Current, Born of Fire, and then a blue deck. Again, I don't remember the name of it because I haven't really played it yet, which is bad because I need to have it recorded and ready for you guys for Friday. Either way, does not matter. For today, we are looking over the deck that is based around Moltres. Moltres has 120 HP. It is a fire type with Combustion and Flying Flare. Combustion will cost you 1 fire energy, it'll do 20 damage, and Flying Flare will cost you 2 fire, 2 colorless, and it'll do 80 damage. However, you can do 40 more damage, but you gotta do 20 to yourself in order to do it. You have a max damage here of 120. That's not really that high. Like, I know it's on par with what Zapdos did, but the problem is Moltres kind of extinguishes himself versus Zapdos extinguishing your entire bench to keep you alive. That's, I guess, up to you guys' preferences. We're going to continue on with our fire Pokemon, though. We're going to start with Arcanine, 110 HP. He is a Stage 1 fire type with Flop. 1 colorless energy is all it's going to cost you to use this. It's going to do 30 damage. Now, just to repeat, it's doing 30. Moltres, who's supposedly a legendary Pokemon, only does 20 with Combustion. So, Arcanine, now again, you're Stage 1, I get it. But its other attack is Flamethrower, 2 fire, 1 colorless, it's going to do 90 damage, and you have to discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. So, Arcanine might not be the best thing to try and set up in this deck. Next up is Rapidash, Stage 1 as well, 90 HP, Fire-type Pokemon with Rear Kick for 1 energy, 1 colorless. It'll do 30 damage, which is pretty common now. We have Fire Blast for 2 energies, it's going to do 70 damage. Discard a fire energy attached to this Pokemon as well. So Fire definitely has this whole let's get rid of our thing. So right now, we don't have a lot of consistency with the deck. Like, we're going to be losing a lot of energy based on the Arcanine and the Rapidash. Or we could be doing a lot of damage to a Moltres. So far, a lot of negatives. We do have Ninetales, 90 HP, also Stage 1. Has the Barrier Shrine. Each player cannot play stadium cards, which is really good if you're locked into what you want, which I do believe is the Scorched Earth in this deck. So once during your turn, once during each player's turn, that player may discard a fire or fighting energy, and they may draw 2 cards. So the stadiums are pretty good. Hopefully we can get that down before the Ninetales hits. But that is not all where Ninetales shines either. No. Ninetales has probably got the best attack in this deck. It's got Flickering Flames, 2 fire, 1 colorless. It's going to do 70 damage. However, you do get to put your opponent to sleep. So Ninetales might actually be the strongest Pokemon in this deck for the simple fact that there's no negative to it. It's 70 damage and you get to put your opponent to sleep. It's not losing energy, it's not dealing damage to itself, it's literally just good outcome for the 3 energy. Now you do have 2 other Pokemon here. One is going to be Persian, 90 HP colorless Pokemon with Raid. 1 colorless energy is what it's going to cost you, and it's going to do 30 damage plus 30 if you evolve Meowth this turn. It's also got Furious Swipes, 2 colorless energy. You get to flip 3 coins, and for each heads you're going to do 30 damage. Finally, our last Pokemon is Snorlax, 120 HP. It is a colorless basic with Plump Body. Now this thing is pretty bulky. With Plump Body, any damage done to this Pokemon by attacks is reduced by 30. Well, in theme deck format, you're gonna be hit by a lot of babies, so that 30 damage reduction is gonna be huge. It's also got Knockaway. It costs you 4 colorless energies, so it's not a reliable attack, but it's gonna do 50. That's right, 4 energies for 50 damage. But you get to flip a coin if heads. This attack does 30 more. So you do have a damage output of potentially 80, but it comes down to a coin flip, and you know how our coin flips go. They're not very good. But that is the Pokemon in the deck. I don't find it as strong as Crushing Current. I'll be 100% honest with you. It's not as strong as Crushing Current. Next up, though, is the Energy Retrieval. You get to put 2 basic energies from your discard pile back into your hand. This is good because we're going to probably be ditching a lot of fire energy. Next up is the Fresh Water to heal that poor old Moltres. Put some water on it, patch it up, and it'll heal 20 damage from each of the others as well. Next up, you've got 2 level balls for them babies. You can search your deck for a Pokemon with 90 HP or less, and you can put it into your hand. Obviously, it'll be probably going to play after. Next up is 1 Pokeball. Flip a coin. If heads, search your deck for any Pokemon you wish and put it in your hand. Pokeballs are better than Great Balls, I find. The only difference is you're not guaranteed anything. Great Ball, you're not guaranteed anything either, but you have the opportunity to. Next up is the Town Map. Turn over all your prize cards. It's pretty much what it does. So I get to choose my prize as I play through it. Town Map is pretty fun. Supporter lineups, we're going to start with the Giovanni's Scheme. You get 2 options here. Choose one. You either get to draw your hand back up to 5 cards, or your Pokemon can do an additional 20 damage this turn. So I really like this card for the simple fact, especially in Theme Deck, where the opportunities for 2 different results are there. If I'm about to win the game, I don't need card draw. I need output of damage, and this good old man can do it. Next up is a Judge. Each player shuffles his or her hand into their deck and draws 4 cards. Hand manipulation is great. Having the ability to draw is also good. We actually have a Lysander in here. Switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active. This is a fantastic card. A staple in pretty much every deck where you need to at least run 1, because you want to make sure you can attack the threats and not just keep on dwindling down your opponent's babies. Next up are the Sycamore. We get 2 of them in this deck. Discard your hand and draw 7 cards. Pretty easy going there. We have 2 Stevens. Search your deck for a supporter and a basic energy. Put them both into your hand afterwards and shuffle. Steven isn't really my favorite supporter, I'll admit. But the fact that in this format I can grab a supporter and it's not really going to be negated away by an N or Judge, it's a strong enough card that it could potentially get us into a win. Like, if I can pull myself into a Lysander and a basic energy, that could be game right there. We have 2 experience shares because if our Pokemon go down, we do not want to lose those energies. There's way too many obstacles here to keep our energies on the field as it is, and an XP share is going to help us with that and keep the momentum going. Next up is the weakness policy. This Pokemon, the Pokemon this card is attached to has no weakness. So if we're playing against a water deck, which is very common, we at least have 1 Pokemon that is not weak to water. Lastly, we have 2 burning energies, which don't get removed after a effect of discarding. So Arcanine and Rapidash are safe. If they have a burning energy, you can discard the burning energy and they'll come right back. It's a much better card than a regular fire energy. And then lastly, we have 19 fire energies. So what is your expectations of this deck? I apologize that this one is a little weird. A lot of cuts, I'm sure. But I am all ready for a few matches of Born of Fire. So if you guys are ready for this, let's hit that good old versus ladder and see if we can actually hit up some theme deck format matches. Now remember, this is a best 2 of 3 set. So if we win one and lose another, we're going to game 3. If we win both, that's done. If we lose both, that's done. So hopefully we'll have a fantastic match and I'll get to showcase the deck in its full potential. But without any further ado, we're heading on to the versus ladder. Alright guys, we're getting into our first game here and we're going up against Tobias Z-Zip, playing that Mental Might deck. I don't know how well we're going to fare here, but we're going to do our best. So, Tobias, he gets to call this coin toss, and he actually called tails, which means we win. And yes, I want to go first. I want that opportunity to set up, not have to worry about attacking, anything like that. We have an Arcanine line. That's it. We have energy to power it up, but that's it. That is all we got. So, can we get ourselves a bit of a startup here? We have no other basics. Our opponent does get the good old... Oh, they've only got 1 startup too, and it's a Skitty. I feel bad for him. I do. I feel bad. So we're gonna pass this turn because that's literally all we can do. Skitty might go down pretty quick. We might have a Growlithe come in and just kind of take over this game. Nope, Golett hits the field. We do see a Great Ball as well, so they'll be able to grab a Pokemon from that. And it's going to be another Golett, so we've got 2 Goletts to deal with today. 1 second energy onto the bench Golett, which is understandable. Which is very understanding. But are you going to play that other one? Because I know you've got a Golett in your hand right now. I know you do. Apparently not. Apparently it takes a while to play them Goletts. Or, in the regards to what he's probably doing, is he might be looking at the outcome of what's going to come next. I can bite for 20, but I'll actually be going for a flop for 30. Now, if he has a supporter, this might be the time to play it, but at the same time, we're only turn 1. No, he does just pass the turn. He does not even play the Golett. We're going to just evolve into our Arcanine. We're going to play the second energy here, and we're going to go for a flop. Just 30 damage. Does a whopping 30. So next turn, though, we'll be able to start going for flamethrowers, and I would really benefit from a Lysander right now. I really would. Nope, we get a Ponyta, but at least we have another Pokemon in the back. We are going to go for the good old energy drop, but I'm going to go for a flop here and not lose the energy. This way I can kind of set up my Ponyta as well. I got another Arcanine, so that doesn't help us very much. But I can take this thing at one shot. He'll do 50 damage to me if he doesn't play that other Golett in his hand, which would be a bad idea. You don't want to lose your game just because you can get taken at one shot. You don't know how many energies I have in my hand? Now, mind you, I can keep loading up this Arcanine for days. Is he just going to go for a Ram? Or sorry, a Beat? I don't know why I thought Ram. It's a Beat. He's gonna beat on my Arcanine. Nope, he has the Mega Punch ready. Goes for that Hard Charm, which means I can't actually take him out, which is bad news for me. But he can't take me out in 2 shots either. But I am going to take this turn to set up my good old Ponyta. Flamethrower. So he's got 2 damage, or he's got 10 HP left. 10 HP left. You cannot evolve Golett in that deck. Oh, this is going to be like this, is it? Thankfully, though, I can take him out. And we have a Burning Energy to finish up the game. So we're going to go for the Flamethrower. It's going to knock out Golett. And we're just going to Burning Energy away, which will come back to the Arcanine. And that will be the first game. That was quick. Arcanine got some massive damage off early game, and he was able to handle that good old Mental Might deck. With that being said, though, we get 2 more. We at least have 1 more game to go, and will it be a lot harder or quicker? I am not sure. But without any further ado, let's get into game number 2 and see, can Born of Fire prove that it's a pretty strong deck? Alright guys, game number 2. Ooh. Okay, we're actually going up against a water deck this time, so this will be a lot harder for us. But we're playing Thunder Wolf, and we get the coin toss here. We're going to call tails. Can we get it? We do! We get the coin toss, and that is all that matters. We are going to go first. Gives us the opportunity to set up a little bit. Now they will get first attack on us. I do not have a basic, so that is not good for me. That's not good for me. Did not need that to start. We're having such a good run so far. But our opponent is going to get 2 Pokemon on the bench. We are going to just click that button there. And let's see if we can get another Pokemon. But we didn't just get a Pokemon. We got a lot of Pokemon. I want to save those Vulpix. We're going to put them right on the bench with the Moltres. And we'll have 2 Fire Energies to kind of dwindle ourselves around right now. We see an Articuno. Oh, This game's lost. This game's lost. We have to put an energy down onto... We can start up our Moltres. Now, Articuno is the weakest, technically, in damage output of the three birds, because Articuno Find Ice is the other deck, but the Find Ice is so strong. That's all I can do. The Find Ice just helps you out so much. You can get all that energy out of your deck, and the likelihood of you drawing something else is much higher. We do see a Water Energy hit the Articuno, and now that Articuno is going to be able to go for the Find Ice, which is going to be bad for us, because that's going to be 3 cards my opponent now has in their hand. Does go for an Acrobike. Ditches a XP share. Alright, I'm alright with this. So the Articuno goes for that Find Ice, and it's going to nab 3 Water Energy. So I know in his hand right now he has 3 Water Energy. Only 2. I apologize, he has 2 Water Energy. We get a Fire Energy though. Gonna attach that right onto our... We're gonna attach that to our Meowth. Go for the Feeling. Fine. I'm gonna draw a card. I get an XP share. I'm gonna just slap that right onto my Moltres. That way, when Meowth does go down, I can just scoop up that energy I threw on it. So it's like I actually got 2 energies out of the deal. He's got a Semi-Poor now. And his second Water Energy onto the Articuno. He's actually going to opt to ditch my Meowth's energy. That's not really cool. That's not good at all for us. I don't like Team Playground. I don't like those cards where they actually take away your progress. That's just rude. I have to lose the energies anyway when you knock out my Meowth anyway. You're just making it difficult now. So the XP share goes here. Gonna throw an energy back on Meowth. And we're gonna go for another Feeling Fine. We get a Steven here. So this is gonna be a good supporter because I can get basic energy and I can get a supporter. That Articuno is 1 energy away from being able to knock us out though. It is a full turn ahead of my Moltres, which is not good. They did opt to Shauna, and they've got a Roller Skates. And they managed to land the Roller Skates, giving them 3 more cards. Whew, this is a match here. Not only do they have super effective against me, but can I even knock you? Yes, I can knock you out. In 1 shot, I can knock out this Articuno. There's apparently no more Water Energy in the deck. That's a good thing for me. We do get to drop an energy here, and we're going to go for a supporter. We will grab Giovanni's Schemes and a Fire Energy. So that'll be our choices. I'm not using the Giovanni's Scheme anytime soon. It's just going to stay clutch in my hand. We have 1 Fire Energy in. I don't need to use that. I'm going to go for another Feeling Fine. He'll have to go for my Meowth this turn, which will give me the opportunity to attack back and take out the Articuno. That is my only option right now. I don't think my opponent here has... Oh, he does not actually go for the attack on the Articuno. He decides to set up that Corsola, which can do Refresh. Weakness Policy on the Corsola, that's not going to do anything. I'm a fire deck. That's not going to do anything. I'm not threatened by it. Pokemon Fan Club. I should have gone for the Lysander if he decides to switch out this Articuno, because this Articuno is the threat. It does go for another Find Ice. You've proven a few times that oh, there you go, 2 Water Energy. Never mind, I don't know what I'm talking about. I thought for sure he had no more Water Energy in there. This is alright, we can set up our Moltres again. I can go for a town map here. I'm not going to waste my resources either. Ooh, we got a couple things we can go for. I can drop a Weakness Policy onto a Moltres, which will be a very strong play, but I am literally just going to go for a Feeling Fine. I want him to be able to knock out my Articuno first. I want him to knock out my Meowth first, and then I can go in with the Moltres. Because Moltres is set up. It's done. I just need to get those water... There it goes. He's going for the attack now. Falling for my little trap. He's only got 1 energy left on the bench, and that is the Corsola. which is not the biggest of threats of an attacker. He does play a Spheal and a Magikarp. Goes for the Freezing Wind. My Meowth is hitting the hay. He got so cold, he just had to have a nice laydown. So we're going to take this Fire Energy, attach it to Moltres, and we're going to be able to come in, do 20 damage to ourselves, but we'll be able to knock out this Articuno, which is going to be a huge, huge investment my opponent's going to lose. It's 120. You have 120. We are going to continue to set up the... Let's go with the Ponyta. And we are going to Flying Flare. Yes, I would like to do the additional damage, and that Articuno is going to go down. I do have to take 20, but I'm going to grab this Weakness Policy just in case. I don't believe Corsola can take me out, but that is a lot of potential ground loss now due to, you know, him being greedy. But if Moltres can survive... Oh, I can't put the Weakness Policy on because I've got the XP share. Sorry. I can go for the Spinning Rush now, and you get nothing. No damage. Oh, I take 40. It's a natural 20. Okay, never mind. Never mind that. I'm going to set up this guy as well. We don't have a lot of space to go here. We have one Fire Energy in there. Weakness Policy on. We're going to drop it onto the Vulpix. I'll play the other Meowth to get it out of my hand. I might have to use Giovanni's Scheme for... No, I do not need to use the additional damage. I knock it out regardless. I might need the Giovanni Scheme in case of card draw. Or do I grab the Judge? I'm just going to grab the Sycamore. I've taken 60. And down went the Corsola. And there's like 6 energy now in my opponent's discard pile. So up comes the Spheal. Spheal cannot attack me. So one thing that we at least got off with this deck is a lot of immediate pressure. Unlike water decks where they have a little bit of sitting problem, we were able to come in and just start attacking. I'm going to actually opt to put another energy onto the Vulpix. And we're going to draw 2. See if I can get myself something to help evolve our lines. We don't, but we have a threat we can take out the Simipour. I'm going to pass. With the Lysander in hand, I can wait a turn, and I'm actually going to take out that Simipour next. That is my next goal. Because you are setting it up. You can't retreat. There you go, another water energy that I can eat. So, one thing you don't know is I do have that good old Lysander, which we're just going to grab him right now. Thank you. We're going to fully set up our Vulpix, and I can go... Ooh. I Lysander, great. I'm going to go for the Flying Flare, and I do have to do the additional damage, but I will get rid of this Simipour. The biggest target to my current board position is gone. I can grab an energy retrieval. And my opponent is down to 3 Pokemon that can't do a whole lot right now. It does bring up the Magikarp. I think that was a strong play for us, is to get rid of the big attacker. He knows that he's got to set something else up. He has the Frogadier in the back. Can he get that Greninja out before we finish this game, though? That is a good question. We are going to get the Rapidash off here. I'm going to opt to evolve one of these Meowths, just to get it out on the board. Going to go for an Energy Retrieval. We have the good old Fire Energy, and we can slap that down on Rapidash. Rapidash is now set up, as is the Vulpix whenever I can get a Ninetales, which I'm going to try and go for right now. Nope, we got 2 Growlers, but I can go for a Level Ball, which will get us the Ninetales, which is awesome, because now we have a bunch of attackers versus our opponent who has 1 energy on a Frogadier. Oh! I should have played the Scorched Earth first. I missed that part. So I'm going to heal up, see if I can heal a little bit, and we can go for we can go for Flying Flare. Will not need to do the additional damage. It is just a Magikarp. And we're going to take a Fire Energy. It's a little bit more important than a Moltres or the Judge right now. Now, my opponent does need another Water Energy, but can go for those Paralyzes. And that can actually stop this right now. Nope, I'm lying. It's got Greninja. Mist Slash alone will take me out. Mist Slash alone will take me out. So he is going to be able to get Gyarados most likely. This game is not over. Not by a long shot, but it'll be close. It'll be close. Goes for the Water Shuriken. You should be hitting my Ninetales. Should have hit my Ninetales. You're super effective with that Mistblade. So that was a waste of an energy. And you can hit anything, right? Yeah, you could have hit anything. We are going to come up into Ninetales right now. I need to land. I'm going to drop the good old Growlithe down. XP the Growlithe. Now, he's going to go to sleep, but I need him to stay asleep. He stays asleep! No attacking us. Beautiful. And that should actually take care of the Greninja line. So our opponent got 2 knockouts so far. Now that Gyarados in the back could be a problem. I will not deny the problem there. But if he wants to get damage off on me this turn, he has to waste a Water Energy. And he's currently lost, what? 9 of the Water Energies in his deck. That's a lot of Water Energy gone. With that being said, we see a few more Pokemon. A Froakie and a Spheal hit their hand, so they're probably going to play those right now. But it's not going to matter too much. If you don't have the Water Energy to help you out right now, I've pretty much got this. So here comes the Water Shuriken. You are actually going to waste a Water Energy to do this. I'm going to take 30. That's fine. My Ninetales is not weak to water, and I'll be able to eat your Greninja. A Muscle Band onto the Gyarados, and you do wake up, but again, it's not going to matter. You're going to get knocked out. We'll be putting the Fire Energy onto the Growlithe. And we're going to go for Flickering Flames. 2-shot potential on most Pokemon in the format, and it does put them to sleep. Like I've said before, Ninetales is just strong in this format. It's just really strong. So we took care of Greninja. We're just left with a Moltres, and my opponent needs 3 energy to attack. And he hasn't got any. So we got the good old Arcanine up too. We're getting all the attackers right now. And I'm just going to go for a Flickering Flames. If I can keep him asleep, that'll be perfect too. He stays asleep, therefore this game is going to be over. Hacks, or whatever you can say, were definitely my favorite for this match. But we did have the type disadvantage here. Having to play the weakness policies in our effect. Not that it mattered, but Ninetales is going to be able to scoop up the knockout here. Good old Flickering Flames does enough damage to clean up. Moltres put in a ton of work too. Yes, it pretty much ended up knocking itself out, but it ended up putting in enough work to take care of the Articuno early game, and then clean up. We got the right support cards when we needed them to clean up the rest of that game. But that's actually Born of Fire. Like I said though, I still find personally Crushing Current to be the stronger of the 2 decks. I've played enough of both decks to really get a good feel for them. Born of Fire has a lot of raw power, but not enough to like usually OHKO. Where Crushing Current's like you're getting 1-shot after 1-shot after 1-shot. And whether it does not matter who it's going to be from, the Kangaskhan or the Raichu or the Zapdos. You're getting knocked out by a lot of Pokemon. These ones it's 2 shots usually. So in my opinion, Crushing Current still leading of the 3, but we will be doing the blue deck. I will definitely have the name for it by the time we actually get to that episode, so I do apologize for that right now. But that is it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed it, again, make sure to hit that like button because it is greatly appreciated. And if you are brand new here, make sure to subscribe because I'm trying to make sure you guys have a fantastic day. And it'll mean more to me that you guys are here all the time watching my videos versus just the once in a while. So that is all for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Time out.